everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing this sweet blue-black tempo list that's been running around quite often. The list varies sometimes depending how many Gixes it plays, if it plays it at all, or a tie, if it's playing shielded at the top end, if it's playing 3 schooners, 2 schooners, 4. We never really know, but we found this list that did incredibly well in a MTGO challenge recently. We're going to run it in the best of 1 gauntlet, and we're going to see how it goes, and that's it. So let's go ahead and hop into the games. If you enjoy the content, please be sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it, and let's just get out there and game. Okay. Well, this is a hand. So sure, we'll keep it. We'll try this hand. Not like the best hand of all time, but I don't know if it's particularly the worst. A double schooner and a double fairy mastermind is a little bit awkward, but we'll take it. Fire schooner off. Green mana reveal doesn't really implying that they're going to be drawing extra cards for this mastermind to necessarily be good. Double green makes me want to play mastermind attack with schooner though. If it's like enchantments, we're going to have to go quick. Spyglass I think is now too slow. We pitch it. This grew. We'll play land and we'll hold up Urtai. 3 green mana. Topiary Stomper. Is supposed to be Gruul Ramp. Oh, it's just mono green. Okay. Well, this still can't block. But we get the same effect regardless. Let's do this. Let's attack. Odawara is good. Now it's like, see if they play a good card. If they don't, we'll flash in another mastermind. See, I'm not that worried about that, I think. Am I? I might be. Yeah, they played land already. I'm going to counter this. Counter target spell or activated ability. They can draw another card if they'd like. Which Incline draws us another card. Wow. You know, scout, sure. That can block. That will explore. They hit a land, so we're looking fine so far, and our opponent concedes. Okay. Definitely weird. I wonder if them drawing that land meant like the rest of their hand was pretty much lands. Sure. Because I don't know what other reason to concede here is. Because like you play that, you play any ramp effect, then you get through, but maybe they just don't want to play through our open mana. Perfectly reasonable though. Perfectly reasonable in my opinion. Okay. Can lead off with the shores, cut down something, mastermind something, get a Gix in play. I mean, this is about as good of a hand as you would want. Play land, especially on the fact that we still get to hold the cut down for 2 turns here. Although schooner is nice, but I think still holding cut down makes more sense, especially with the Gruul mana shown. If it's the quick like double striking thing, yeah. Back up 2. Let's just get this off the battlefield. We are definitely in a hurting here. We'll play this. A little part of me just wants to play this Gix. I think I want to Deep Cavern Bat and look for the Agatha Soul Cauldron in hand, if that's in there. Oh god, it's all bad, huh? Monstrous Rage I'm not too worried about. Helena is obviously annoying. This is kind of the most crucial creature, I think, because I can just get rid of my bat. But I guess maybe we just do that, and if they get rid of my bat, to get rid of my bat. But Helena can come in. Can't really buff anything right now. We will have to find... Oh, no. You just didn't play anything? They just didn't play a card. They accidentally passed their turn? What? That's how you get in the Diamond 3. All right, we go first. We start off with the same amount of lands as we had before, so that's pretty cool. Siren, come in, make a map token. Ending black. I'm gonna give them a cut down target here because a lot of times they want you to crack the map to target here and then they'll cut down it. They're really defensive over this 1 damage, huh? That screams to me that they obviously have removal and they can just remove the bat in response, so I'd much rather flash in the mastermind. Yeah, there's cut down. Sure. Or maybe even flash the mastermind in into response to their own bat. Sure. hesitation here because if their only removal is Mistress Foundry, is going to pause because it doesn't tap to activate as a creature land. It can just do it at any point. Well, I mean, we're obviously going to start to train. If this gets going, we're going to be very excited about it. Just the likelihood of it happening is not high. You have to imagine when you're playing against mono black that they're going to have more than one removal spell, but I suppose not. Take the action? Sure. They play a Gix of their own. We can Urtai that. For me, however, and Arena really just wants you to lose sometime. They're like, bro, this one damage you're going to take. It's going to be too much. Another Gix, which is a dead card, so we'll just take the bat. And at this point, I might just trade off. Gixes. That's what they want to do. Okay, sure. I'm definitely down to trade off Gixes at this point. Maybe their only play is to attack, let me block, and then play their own. I feel like that plays are only really made. Okay. Fair enough. We now have a counterspell for that, so we don't really care. Block. I know why we block pretty much. Sure. Not really stopping that one. We'll play this. We'll even foreshadow what's to come. We'll attack for 2. I mean, if they don't know that this is in the pocket ready to go, I don't know what else would tell them that. But they allow it to happen. And they'll draw an extra card here. So we'll actually get a Fairy Mastermind trigger, which is really nice. Maybe they don't care. A Gix attack. We'll block like this because we have way more power swinging back on the other way. On the other front, regardless. Now it's like, do we Gix, draw cards, or do we just play a Shieldred? And honestly, with them in a top deck scenario, I'd much rather play a Shieldred, I think. Because now they're going to take 7 in total here instead of just this 5, I would imagine. Let us make our flyer bigger if it's going to get bigger. Deep Cavern Bat's great. But now if they use removal and they're not unable to use their turn effectively, we can then bat and take the next card out of their hand. This is, for example, say they draw another big bat. They can then go for the throw our Shieldred. If they don't, then they have to deal with Shieldred still getting us value. Things are swinging in pretty heftily. It's a hard turn. It's a hard turn for sure. But they flooded, which is we're definitely grateful for. All right, we go first. I take a little bit of damage early, just as long as we're not against mono red. Doesn't feel as bad. But we'll be against mono red. Anytime you have 2 pain lands and 3 blue cards, and you have to use pain lands to get it, it'll be mono red. I love saying this and then it being mono red, like that actually has anything to do with it. It definitely does not. It's just funny, regardless. Play a Schooner, and we attack for 1. Now I have the nice Schooner play set up, and then next turn we can hold up as Make Disappear. Black land, black land. Okay, well, thankfully we didn't get hit with the Deep Cavern Bat, because that would have sucked. We bring this up and we attack. Gix is on top. Fantastic. And we're obviously going to hold up this Make Disappear, at least in my opinion that we should. And I'm going to put this on the Siren. Do the Gix. Now the Siren's already a 3/3 and massive, and we can play a land, use Gix. I would assume I'm having to counter a spell here. 3 mana, do nothing in mono black. Seems very unlikely unless maybe like a go for the throat on our turn. I would like to keep my 3/3. We just talked about this. Draw a Gix, and our opponent concedes because the amount of value that we're about to turn up is wild. Opponent goes first. Keep. Play. Yeah. That makes sense. Realistically, they're not going to be able to pump this a ton the next turn. Does that matter? Do I just hold up a cut down regardless? And then hold up and Make Disappear for their Adeline? Combat. The thing I was afraid of anyway is a Thalia, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down. Thalia means I can't cast this regardless. That creature can get out of hand pretty quickly. Human for cavern, okay. Well, now I feel like playing a schooner and getting that online is more important. Reinforcements, sure. Make this appear as a dead card. Kind of one of the things about playing Makes This Appear that sucks sometimes is like Cavern's so strong. That's why I was so hesitant in Esper for a while to not put it in. You know, it's not really like a great reason. Play Deep Cavern Bat. Let's get a little look in there. You know they're all spells. Brutal Cathar, Knight Errant, Brutal Cathar, Adeline. Draw a land. They can do Brutal Cathar if they want. Human. The only one in their hand that I'm actually truly afraid of is Adeline at the moment. Taking a Brutal Cathar ×2 is a little bit redundant. Doesn't quite do what we want. And just for trying to draw land's sake, I'm going to play this. I'm going to attack. Go for the third strong too. Because now if they do draw their land and they Brutal Cathar my bat, I can then go for the third with their Brutal Cathar. And then my bat will re-enter, taking out the Adeline again, or their other Brutal Cathar if we want it to. Definitely a tricky situation for sure. Looks like Knight Errant of Eos is about where they want to be. Which is fine with me. Gives me time. The only problem is I have a dead card in hand. Might be a situation where I just get ran over by mono white. You know, typical mono white fashion. Oh boy. If Brutal Cathar enters and we go for the throw it in response, it doesn't matter. This up. This mana. Crack on here. I did not mean to leave that on top, so that's where it's at now. Full attack. There, I can throw it back that way. Yeah, we meant to leave it on top, you know. I would have hated to put a land in my hand. For the sake of a counter. And now we'll just hold. Again, Brutal Cathar can enter and then target, and then we can remove it in response. That resolves. Not opposed to allowing that to happen. Now, that on the other hand, cast with a cavern. I think their whole board grows, and I'm not really sure I can take that. Be a soft attack here. Not like a soft attack, I guess, but not really that strong either. As we get to remove this, I know obviously there's a Brutal Cathar in hand, but we just don't have the time for the life total. You can see we already dropped to 11. Play this. Could play Gix. I'd like to. I guess the rest of my cards are dead, huh? Back with these ones. You're to the bottom. You're just not good. Now we force them to block because they don't want us to draw extra cards, so that's pretty cool. And we'll take that action. Draw another bat. Actually, not the worst. Attack is really weird. They opt to go Vanguard once again instead of playing this Brutal Cathar, which has been incredibly nice. It's generous of you. You have another knight. Tapping out for a knight. I love when they give us turns off. It's so sick. Now I get 2 more flyers with the Gix in play. Okay, I'm not going to block this 5/4. Use all their mana to hold up to 5/4. Only thing I guess I'm afraid of is like an Midrange recruiter or the bat lady, crazy bat lady. Oh, now they don't have to worry because obviously they have an Adeline in play, or not in play, but they have it in hand. Not as big as a concern. Obviously, we'll take our chunk here. My turn. We can take other Adeline, I suppose. Move to combat. I know we're definitely flirting with death here, but at some point, gotta get there. And we're just in this cycle of not drawing lands. Adeline can come in. Adeline, does you do anything? I don't really feel like you do as much as we might think you do. Decline. I think we have a good enough turn. I'm gonna put this bat into play. A brutal guitar. Say oops like we did it by accident. Maybe they'll let us off the hook. But we can block a chunk of this. Not a great chunk of it, but we can block a chunk. Brutal Cathar. To get the bat out of the way, which one will you take? If you take one, it should be the 2/2, but gains the most life here. Who are you targeting? Oh. Have our 3/4. It's simple math. Here's another one. Sure. And realistically, we're gonna bring this up regardless, so just show it. Maybe it'll scare him. Sometimes I do get scared. It's a little wild. Never entirely sure why. See, that's threatened enough. And I live at 1, correct? 2. Yeah, brutal. No, what are you doing? Go to blocks. Like, it's crewed already, dog. I think I want to crew again. Block, block, block. Down the 1 we go. We have the flyers. We gain life. We could play a Shieldred, gain more life. Back out, just gain a ton. I think that's what we have to do. Attack. Sure. I guess we won't be in play for Shieldred. Or, yeah, well, never mind. Take an action, gain life. Take an action, gain some life. I mean, we're dead in the water regardless. There's not a whole lot we can do. Mono white just overwhelming us on the board either way, and then just us playing the card Make Disappear, which either is like the best card in your deck or the worst. And this is an example when it's the worst, when they play a Cavern on turn 2 and there's just nothing we can do about it. Oh, we go first. Sweet. Play the Reef, play Odawara, play the Bat, maybe flash in the Mastermind. Oh, Gari. Oh, well. That's cringe. I'll take a Glissa just for funsies. No. Play this. Play Preacher. Preacher being a really good stop to Liliana. And Preacher also being able to maybe mess around with the Glissa. They play Glissa instead. Sure. That's fine with me. It can do whatever it wants. I'm not going to stop it. You're really trying to go crazy on me, game. Take a damage. don't care that much to take 1 damage here to ensure if I draw some kind of removal or some win state that way that I can actually use it. Take action. Make disappear gonna be a little bit awkward. We throw another card out into the void. Now we've kind of made Liliana a little bit useless here. Terra Thunder can obviously hit my Gix. What they go for? You attack with Glissa? No, because you can't really afford to. Act like this. Plus Shieldred. I know we have Make Disappear, but it also gets a little bit awkward if they're like land draw, then try to play Lily and do some shenanigans with it. They play land, because then we'd have to sacrifice a Siren, and that's just not fun for us.
No more distractions.
Oh, you want us to discard? Fair enough. Tenacious Underdoggy. We'll do it. It's another route. What a sick draw. Let's pop this. Let us move to combat. This, and this. Then this at this. Go first. Yeah, this hand's like fine, I think. Definitely a Schooner on 2, a Preacher on 3, into a Shieldred, hopefully. Hopefully. Our opponent arrives. On a blue we are. Very scary. Watch yourself. Schooner. Obviously, if it's control, it's like meh. If it's not control, seems like control, but it seems maybe like Esper as well. Obviously, it's Esper, but mid-range deck, Esper control or Esper mid-range is what I was trying to fly here. We'll bring up the Schooner. Go for the throw. It's not able to get rid of the Schooner. Of course, they get that out of the way. You hit him for a little bit. Call it a good day. Or Skitter. That's reasonable and fine with me. Not a fan. You can take it back. I'm going to play Shelly so that I have a go for the throw in the tank ready to go. And we'll attack. Maybe there will be an Emperor from our opponent. That'll make me cry very intensely. Maybe they have a go for the throat. They draw, go down to 12. Lord Skitter can trigger again. Although I do think this is just the recent Esper mid-range pile that's been doing well. Apparently they play Emperor. Who knows?
Now you've done it.
Ah, man. Even if I played Preacher, it still just didn't work. It just sucks.
You are not much of a roadblock.
I really care about this right now. I don't think so. Might even be able to give him a false sense of confidence by attacking here. They'll plus on like a Skitter or something. Yeah, we'll take that because Gix can draw that and we can actually just play it. Like, it's not the worst. Like, obviously I don't really want to draw this card, but I think drawing a playable in that spot's not the worst either. They make a 2/2. Okay. I mean, you have another Emperor.
Keep watch for intruders.
Huh? Go for it. Flux. On a 10 we go. Tells me they have another Emperor, and that's upsetting. That's upsetting spaghetti. But if they pass, oh, yeah, we're chilling. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Everybody relax. Fine. We play Preacher. Now we're not gonna mess up. We don't think Siren's good enough, right? We are going to do this. This is an Urtai, isn't it? Ah, yeah. I got you buckled up now, brother. I've got it memory denned. Oh, you thought you were slick. Decided to wait. Let that go. We hit for maybe a lot. We're actually hoping for a block, but we don't get it. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We declined that draw, and we declined that draw. I prefer not to die to removal plus just beat me down than maybe drain me some way. Or like a shielded, for example. But realistically, if they attack, this creature is body blocking something. Most likely, if they attack out, instead of blocking the skitter, we'll actually block the samurai. If you're curious why, because the fact that if they play a third emperor, they can give the skitter first strike. And I'm good with not having that happen. We'll block like this. This would get our preacher out of the way, by the way, if you were curious. My turn. Sure. You're gonna let me go, opponent? That's very nice of you. Because Urtai can do both? I'm confused what I should crew with, or if I should even crew at all. Do this. Let's activate a map here. Do this. Now Urtai's not available. That'll counter this, but we can go for the Tidebinder, because even if we remove the Tidebinder, this still stays. Then now, of course, we don't have to make a play. We can just go to combat and win. Is what I'll do. Be respectful here. We'll just attack. We'll just hit him for lethal. We come out on top, getting around the Tidebinder. I do think if they played a Rafine, we're probably getting crushed that game. My opponent goes first. We really need a land here, but we'll try it. We'll give it a shot. As for land tap, so we'll play a land tap. I do think we're going to get ran over at this point, but we do draw a land, so that's pretty sweet. Draw up a schooner. It's just this revealed. I think playing schooner is perfectly fine. Make my day. Play a Rafine. Ooh, no. Oh boy. Well, I'll play Gix. I'll just might as well tap out here. Could be an Emperor next turn. Could also be go for the third for Gix. Or it could be Rona's Vortex. I was not calling that. So this is just Esper control then. Alright, well. Attack. Block, sure. We can now cut down one if they do nothing on turn, and then flash in a Mastermind. Play. Thing. Let us flash in the Mastermind. Still hold up our 2 mana here. Maybe they'll think we're playing Make Disappear. Or that we have one in hand regardless. Get this out of the way. What? This is where we can get a lot of value. We can get it to stick through. It looks like we did. And we're definitely double drawing here. One. Nice. Nice draw. We will hold. We'll look to play this stuff in the following turn. Memory Deluge is good. But Memory Deluge, I think, is going to find them counter magic. Or board wipe magic. A board wipe. And then I am going to Urtai this in and then take it. And then we'll look at their hand next turn and kind of confiscate anything that's too brutal for us. Sunfall completely tapping out. We'll auto play this. Counter the Sunfall, getting a lot of value here. And now we're attacking for a ton. They draw an extra card. I draw an extra card. Play tap land. Little do they know, I have another Urtai, and they do not want to keep up with the 3 cards a turn draw that we'll have. We have a full grip. They didn't have another Sunfall in hand, maybe. And this is one of the times where it pays off not to freak out about the Memory Deluge and just counter what they grab off of it. Sometimes you do want to counter Memory Deluge instead and just like really put the pressure on, because if you're about to win, you just go for it. Because they didn't Sunfall us with 5 mana, they passed instead. So normally you would Sunfall, you're not going to allow this to happen. Island. Good draw of lands, and maybe you hold Takenuma, so we don't want to play it out right away. Where's off it looks. Where's off it be. Play a Schooner. A lot harder to remove than what the bat will be. They have double removal. Obviously, bat's going to get taken right away. Well, that has Death Touch. Obviously. Like, obviously, that has Death Touch. You are correct, Brick. Let's play a Deep Cavern Bat. Let's get a little look in their hand. There's a Voice. There's a Shielder. There's a Go for the Throat. All kind of bad. We can remove this. We're not worried about it. Shielder, we can kind of parry a little bit. But the Go for the Throat is the set up. Solid removal. So we're going to bring this up. I doubt they block. I think their argument will be we'll get the life back. Is generally the consensus that you have whenever you have one of these type of creatures in play. And as you see, they don't block, allowing us to keep the Schooner around, which may or may not be a mistake. Who really knows? Now, with that draw alone, now I get to play land. I will offer you Tradesy. Tradesies? Or Bloxies? Not even a trade. They're just down bad about it. Alright, so we just pass the turn. And we'll probably see them play land, throw a Shielder on the stack, try to gain some life. We'll make this appear, and then we'll go for the Throat the Voice. And we'll be living good. Make this appear this. No Cavern of Soul in this deck to stop us. Honestly, unless they might even attack. I was going to say, if they attack, kind of a little bit indifferent about it. But I'm definitely going to remove it off the board. Oh no, I lose 1 instead of 3. Play land. I will play Creature. Creature being a really nice solid creature. I just really like putting the counters on the bat, but I'd rather the bat be attacking. Maybe gain us some life. Go for a third on the top. Fantastic. Here we'll most likely flash in this Fairy Mastermind, especially if they go to draw extra cards, which isn't really their deck's forte. But this Go for the Throat on the top just going to be a phenomenal draw that should help us tempo this game out and win. They can give -1/-1 here to our Deep Cavern Bat, but they gain less life if that's the case. Yep, they see it. Now let's Go for the Throat can remove our Preacher, which does suck, but that's just the way of the land sometimes. We also find ourselves a Go for the Throat. Sure, I'll take my 2. No cut down, please. Sick. Play Preacher. Pretty much do the exact same play, I think. Go to combat. Even though this is like, it's actually a dumb play. Bill's probably supposed to crew with this Fairy Mastermind, I think. Let's play Schooner. Play land so we can crew this up. Oh, we can crew it up anyway. Oh, they gain life. Okay. A little bit more on the scared side, I would say. I think getting 2 damage off the board is just good. Oh, especially when you could have killed my whole board. I think it's kind of wild that you didn't do that. Because now our Fairy Mastermind would be gone. Instead, you're going to allow me to attack down your Emperor, even if I want. Do I even want to? This is 4/4, so land. They mill 4. That's not like great. I don't even care to attack the Emperor, I think. Let's go for the throat this. Play second mastermind. Let's schooner crew. Schooner crew. And on one hand, you could be like, oh, you should just get the Emperor out of here. But I'm going to set them at lethal. Okay. I will leave that shielded on top. It seems good for me. And if you're unsure why, I have 2 3/3s in the air. They're at 4, so if the gain 2 is not enough off like a Restless Fortress. You're the veteran. Okay, do you have another creature? You have a Shieldred. Alright. Oh, will this be the first time? No, it won't. Never mind. It won't matter.
We've got the edge in this.
Draw. I was hoping for a brief second that this was going to be the first time I was actually going to get to show the Shieldred like trigger on the stack, where like they're at 2 and then their Shieldred triggers to gain 2 life, but my triggers to deal 2 damage first, so then they end up losing regardless. But other than that, let's just go ahead and hop on into the outro and talk about the deck a little bit. All right, first things first, I think we can all agree that at some point we figured out that blue and black are probably the strongest kind of 2 colors that are put together if you're going to talk about a 2-color deck, because at least for me, it seems I always typically do well with these. I do think a thing that we got to see today is how strong Gix can actually be, and a lot of times it fails to show itself in a lot of our matches. I think a lot of times Gix becomes like a pitchable card, and this is when I'm talking about Esper right now. Whenever we have a Rafine in play, if you're going to tell me to pick one over the other, most of the time I end up picking Rafine just because Rafine grows our creature at the same time, but also it's like it has flying as well, so it can always kind of attack and doesn't have to wait like Gix does sometimes. But today we really got to see how strong Gix can be, along with Schooner, two cards that I'm pretty much, at least I think that I pretty much offloaded in my Esper version, because I just didn't like the way this played in that deck. I didn't really like using Rafine to crew it. Like, I definitely got like playing this one too, playing Rafine, crewing this, and kind of getting in there. It was always just weird to me. I don't know why. It just never felt like clean or good. It felt a little bit clunky. Like, I'm just not sure. Like, I always wanted to play Bat first, so then the play for it was never there. Outside of that, I think we also saw how good the Siren can be outside of what the Simic deck, the Simic artifact deck. Siren actually being really solid in this list, because the initial Esper list did play like all this, and this, and I kind of ended up trimming all this at first, and then I added 2 Urtai's back and the 2 Make Disappears, I believe, and ended up cutting on this to add other things that were a little bit more value, at least to me. But here in this blue-black tempo list, it was just so good. I think this deck ran incredibly well today. I think at first when I played it, because I played a couple games, I was in a Discord call. We were scheduling a team event for Apex, store I work for. Obviously, if you've ever watched my videos, I wear it literally every time. I have 30 different hoodies. So, we're scheduling a team event. So I was just playing this kind of in the background. It was kind of like wish-washy. Like, I'd win some, I'd lose some, I'd win some. And then all of a sudden, like you just saw at the very end, we just ran a stretch of games in a row and just win. And it felt really clean. It felt really good. It never felt like a lot of times these deck lists feel where you're like, I never feel like anything I'm doing is powerful enough. It just felt sometimes maybe slightly below. Like, instead of at 100%, like a lot of times it felt maybe like at 90 in terms of like being at full power, like doing something incredibly strong. But it was good enough. I mean, if you're winning games, you can't really complain too much. Outside of this, this did place second, I think, in a MTGO challenge. So it is a best of 3 list. Here is a sideboard. If you are interested, you do not have to craft this sideboard. It's not necessary to play best of 1. You don't need any of these. Now, this is a rare. The rest are commons and uncommons. So if you're interested in playing best of 3, you're like, I have a couple rares to shoot off. Like, there you go. Outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are watching. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.